The air hung heavy with the scent of pine needles and damp earth, a shroud of unease settling over the small town of Harmony Ridge. 2 children, Lily, a bright-eyed 8-year-old with a mischievous grin, and her younger brother, Ben, a quiet boy of 6 with a penchant for collecting rocks, had vanished. They'd wandered off into the whispering woods that bordered the town, a place of childhood wonder and whispered fears. The search party, a motley crew of townsfolk armed with flashlights and a growing sense of dread, combed through the dense undergrowth. Sheriff Brody, a man whose face was etched with worry lines, led the effort, his voice hoarse from shouting orders. Spread out. Stay together. Listen for any sounds. As the hours ticked by, hope dwindled. The woods, once a place of playful exploration, now felt like a sinister labyrinth, each rustle of leaves a chilling reminder of the missing children. Deep within the heart of the woods, hidden behind a curtain of overgrown ferns, stood a dilapidated cabin. Its windows were boarded up, and a rusty swing set lay abandoned in the overgrown yard. Inside, a masked figure sat hunched over a crackling fire, 2 wide-eyed children huddled in a corner, tears tracing paths down their dust-streaked faces. The masked man, a gaunt figure with eyes that held a chilling emptiness, watched them with a predatory gleam. He had found them wandering off the path, their laughter a sweet siren song that had lured him from the shadows. He had always been drawn to the innocence of children, their untainted joy a stark contrast to the darkness that consumed him. Lily, ever the brave one, tried to reason with him. "Please, sir," she pleaded, her voice trembling, "let us go home. Our parents are worried." The masked man chuckled, a dry, rasping sound. "Home," he scoffed. "This is your home now." He forced them to eat stale bread and drink from a murky stream. He told them stories of the woods, tales of whispering spirits and creatures that lurked in the shadows, designed to instill fear and obedience. Ben, his courage already waning, clung to his sister, his eyes wide with terror. Days turned into nights, and the children grew weaker, their spirits dwindling with each passing hour. Lily, however, refused to give in to despair. She remembered her father teaching her how to identify edible plants, and she managed to forage for berries and leaves, providing a meager source of nourishment for them both. News of the children's disappearance had reached the city, drawing the attention of Detective Isabella Reyes, a seasoned investigator with a sharp mind and an even sharper intuition. She arrived in Harmony Ridge, bringing with her a fresh perspective and a renewed sense of urgency. Detective Reyes quickly realized that the search efforts were too scattered. She believed the kidnapper had a specific hideout, a place where he could remain undetected. Focusing on the edges of the woods, she began to analyze the terrain, searching for any signs of disturbance, any indication of a hidden path. Her search led her to the abandoned cabin, its boarded-up windows and overgrown yard immediately piquing her interest. A faint, almost imperceptible scent hung in the air, a mixture of wood smoke and something else, something metallic, almost coppery. It was a scent of fear, of desperation. With a sinking feeling, Detective Reyes realized she was on the right track. She cautiously approached the cabin, her senses on high alert. She found a small, almost invisible trail leading away from the back of the cabin, a path that had been carefully concealed by leaves and branches. Following the trail, she found herself in a hidden clearing, a small cave concealed by a waterfall. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of damp earth and something else, something off. The masked man, startled by the sudden intrusion, whirled around, his hand instinctively reaching for the crudely fashioned knife at his belt. Lily and Ben, huddled together in the depths of the cave, let out a collective gasp of relief. Detective Reyes, her eyes narrowed, assessed the situation. The masked man was a formidable opponent, but she had faced worse. She drew her own weapon, a small but deadly stun gun, and leveled it at him. "Drop the knife," she commanded, her voice firm but steady. The masked man hesitated, his eyes darting between Detective Reyes and the terrified children. He saw the determination in her eyes, the unwavering resolve that promised swift and certain retribution. With a frustrated growl, he tossed the knife aside. Detective Reyes, moving with the speed and grace of a seasoned predator, closed the distance between them. The stun gun fired, sending a jolt of electricity through the masked man's body. He crumpled to the ground, unconscious. Lily and Ben, their faces pale but their eyes filled with a newfound hope, rushed towards Detective Reyes. They clung to her, burying their faces in her coat, sobbing with relief. "It's okay," Detective Reyes soothed, her voice gentle. "You're safe now." As the news of the children's rescue spread through Harmony Ridge, a wave of relief washed over the town. The woods, once a place of fear, were once again seen as a place of wonder, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, hope could always find a way to shine through. The masked man, after a brief stint in the local jail, was transferred to a mental health facility, where he could receive the treatment he so desperately needed. Lily and Ben, though shaken by their ordeal, slowly began to heal, their laughter once again filling the air with a joyful melody. Detective Reyes, her duty fulfilled, returned to the city, but the memory of the terrified children, the chilling emptiness in the eyes of their captor, would forever remain etched in her mind. She had faced many dangers in her career, but none had shaken her as deeply as the encounter in the heart of the Whispering Woods. The story of the lost children and their miraculous rescue became a legend in Harmony Ridge, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, courage and compassion could always prevail. The woods, though forever tinged with a hint of the past, once again became a place of childhood wonder, a place where children could play freely, their laughter echoing through the trees, a testament to the enduring power of hope.